to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody, and happy All Hallows Eve. To my fellow sinners out there, that is the film we are discussing to celebrate Halloween. Sinners, released on April 18th, 2025, written and directed by Ryan Coogler. I'm so very excited. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. This movie came out 6 months ago, half a year ago, and it still remains probably my favorite of the year. It's right there anyway. Was this your first revisit? Is that right?
I think this is actually number two, revisit number two, but I did fall asleep during the first one, and I got like 70% the way through. So it's like almost a watch.
The first
but I don't
full recompletion,
yes. Yes. So, yeah, this one, I kind of hate when I fall asleep during a movie. I hate when I know I'm going to fall asleep and then I start a movie and then I'm like, oh, just trying to tough it out, but I'm just like, I can't do it.
Because you're not doing the movie justice.
I know.
It deserves better. I get it. I'm right there with you.
I hate that. But no, this one, I was locked in. It was late at night. I didn't give a fuck. There was no tiredness involved at all. No problems, getting there. So yeah, this was... I've been waiting to get a true rewatch for a while, and this was around this time a year. It would have been nice if it did come out like right now in real life. I'm glad I did get it 6 months ago, but I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of interesting. October must generally not be a hot movie month as far as release schedules are concerned. I only went and saw one movie this month in theaters. Now there were a couple I was interested in, but I've got access to AMC A-List. Like I can go see as many movies as I fucking want. And there weren't a ton that I was like, oh, I gotta go see that. And I only say this because there's a ton of horror movies that come out a couple months before, and there are even more horror movies that come out in November. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, the new one, comes out next month. Comes out in November. And it's like, why on earth would you do that? Well, because it's a better month to release movies than October. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is, but I don't know the stats behind it. But yeah, I agree. It would be nice to immerse yourself in this for the first time during spooky season. But it's beautiful to revisit as well. Yeah. It is beautiful to revisit as well. I caught this for the first time in April on an IMAX screen, which was special. Special film going experience. Whenever you think about the use of the actual IMAX cameras, it's really impressive. I'm not big on the technical side of filmmaking as far as like, oh, I know what, I can tell what film grain this is just by looking at it. And I'm not big on like, oh, this aspect ratio is better than that aspect ratio or anything like that, I know I like something when I'm watching something and I like it, and sometimes I look into whatever the fuck that is. Sometimes I'm like, that was sick. I'm gonna let it lie. But a couple years ago when you went and saw Oppenheimer in theaters and you go, there's a way that these movies look that are shot with these cameras that is just so pristine. It is so crisp. And there's this sequence when it's kind of this segue at the middle of the movie, where everyone's gathering their shit. The Chows are getting in their car, they're loading up the van, everyone's heading to the juke joint, they're painting, and it goes to that big IMAX aspect ratio, and there's this lighting and these colors, and it's like, holy shit, this is beautiful. And it really, genuinely, the only movie I can think to compare it to visually during a moment like that is Oppenheimer, and I know for a fact they have the overlapping camera usage there. So like it is, it's the only thing I can really point to and go, well, that's why it feels the same. And it's literally using the same tech. It's really incredible. And Ryan Coogler, I mean, this is just a towering achievement in what was already a towering body of work. You look across what he's done already: Creed, the Black Panther movies, Fruitvale Station, and Sinners.
Damn.
That's an incredible series of movies he's got going. And I mean, gotta be one of the best working based off that alone. At least one of the most impactful working. His movies are packing punches. It's a moment whenever a Coogler film comes out. And you can't say that for a lot of directors. And it's not like Chris Nolan where it's like tied to his name strictly. It's not like, well, that's the new Ryan Coogler movie. You got to go see it.
Cultural moment.
It is. It's like, oh, that's the movie that's got Chadwick Boseman in it. That's the movie that's got Michael B. Jordan in it. It's the one that's got both of them in it. It's it's special. And so I can't say enough good stuff about this movie. And I know we're only 5 minutes in, so I intend to.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Can I find something I don't like about it? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I have really a true gripe. It's like it blends so many different things. Like it's horror, but taken so seriously. But at the same time, we have vampires up in here, and it's like it's true. I said not too long ago, maybe was it Elm Street or was it? It might have been Bram Stoker's Dracula, about how like I like whenever it is super campy because it's almost like easier to lose myself in it sometimes.
Right.
Where it's like I suspend belief even easier, but here there's like no suspension of belief. It's like that's a real fucking vampire. Or like I know that they're
of course, but I think the identity, real. The presentation of the vampires is very, very important. Like they're not the big mythical, the big one. It's not Dracula, it is a vampire, and the presentation of that vampire is a culture vulture, which we are all familiar with. He is a white man who is intending to use black art to propel himself, to feed himself. He wants to absorb their identity so that he may be able to live on and prosper in his own right. He is a cultural vampire as much as he is a literal vampire. And that makes him realistic. And that's that's something that you don't get a lot out of in vampire movies in general. You are typically going, oh, well, this is a vampire movie. It's going to be hacky. And if there's something that you can like, that is the achievement of the film for me, is that it manages to take this from dusk till dawn.
Yep.
This from dusk till dawn idea, the Robert Rodriguez Tarantino film, George Clooney, all them, where it's like, okay, the whole first act is this one thing where we're building up to them getting to this place, and then they gotta stay the rest of the night because vampires. Like it's that is an inherently silly idea for a movie. So to take it as seriously as it does and to succeed as massively as it did and does, it is an incredible achievement. And because that's what's also special, is it's not the first of its kind in that regard. Like there is a direct comparison to draw to a movie like From Dusk Till Dawn, where it's like the literal structure of your film has existed. This has been done. And to do it in such a unique, fresh way with such a meaningful idea behind it, it really hits on a different level.
Yeah, I guess you could, on a literal sense, you could say it's cookie cutter in the way of like the classic horror. It follows these steps of, okay, introduce the vampires, and then they're all in one building, and then you just have to wait for the sun to come up, and that's it. It's like and everything ensues beyond there. But they have the racial story that's going, the cultural story behind it that is like it makes it feel so new, even though that this is, if you take out the cultural part, it still is a great movie. I feel
it's still a super fun movie.
And the horror
it stops being as incredible a movie as it is, and it starts being a much more fun movie.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's already a fun movie. Like you have an actor like Delroy Lindo, who is absolutely incredible, playing, Delta Slim.
Delta Slim. There it is. Yeah, I was blanking.
I was blanking. Sorry. Incredible actor who is functionally the comedic relief of the film. I think I just shat myself. You know, like all that stuff. Like he's an absolutely incredible piece of the puzzle, but you give him moments like when they're driving down the car and he's telling the story of his old friend and the way they would perform, and then he got lynched, and all of a sudden his alcoholism and his sense of humor, everything is put in this new context, and it's almost a triumph. His goofiness becomes protestation. It becomes an act of revolt, just being joyful and jubilant, like being able to present yourself in a way that is happy after going through all this is in and of itself a fuck you to the establishment and the powers that be. And that's why juke joints, a place for us, by us, that whole idea it's incredible. And that's why setting it at this point, and I'm going to come back to that word a lot, and I'm sorry, but it's just an incredible movie.
Yeah. And like what happened to Delta Slim, or what, a literal vampire is trying to do by sucking out the life of another to benefit its own. That just actually happened to Delta Slim by a jail officer, like just a police officer. And like, so it doesn't even, you take the vampire, take the crazy villain out of it. Yeah,
I want your songs. Yeah, like it is literally what happened to him. That's why I look at this movie, and it's naturally, because it is one of the most popular movies of the year, it is automatically going to get, overrated accusations. That's something that's going to happen to any movie that is a big deal. But genuinely, I don't know the last time the most popular movie of the year, or one of the most popular movies of the year, was honestly, genuinely one of the best. The only other one that comes to mind for me is Oppenheimer. But even that came out in a couple $1 billion movies came out that year. So Sinners, as far as an original Hollywood production, post-COVID, I'm pretty sure holds the record for the highest grossing original story post-COVID. Like, it is.
Wow. Yeah,
it was a massive success. It was a big deal. So that's why I'm like, it's wildly popular, and with good reason. It's just that good.
Let's see. I was gonna see if the good old. I mean, it might be too early for the Kansas City Film Critics Circle Award to. It is too early. We don't know. There's a couple. I mean, there's already some nominations of things. The Gotham Awards, crazy that they got that going in Gotham,
New York.
So they just call it the Gotham Awards, and it's just like, what? Right. Is it tied to Batman in any way, or is it just
no? Like, Gotham is a nickname for New York.
Wait, just like in general, that's not
in real life. I don't know the chicken or egg situation. I have to imagine New York was kind of referenced to as Gotham at points, and that's why they called it Gotham City in the comics. But I couldn't tell you if that's for sure. Regardless, there's a heart to the movie that just astounds me, and that heart is Miles Caton playing Sammy Moore.
Sammy.
You come into this movie, all the marketing, everything. Michael B. Jordan's the main character, and argument to be had that he is, but he's not. I don't know that he is. I think Sammy is the main character of the film.
Yeah. I'd say it's Sammy.
Now you can make the argument that Michael B. Jordan's the lead actor, but he's not the main character, or they're not the main character, as he does play two of them.
True.
And I'm amazed that this is Miles Caton's first credit. Has never been in anything.
Damn.
He's gonna be an absolute fucking star. The voice that kid has is unbelievable. He'd only released like one little album of music prior to this. It was a couple years ago. And now he's released a single that is super good. And I mean, like, obviously the soundtrack is incredible. Ludwig Göransson again with Ryan Coogler going fucking nutty. You pointed out earlier, you're like, I don't know that there's a single thing I could point to and go, oh, I don't like that. And the only thing that I even kind of felt that way about on my most recent watch last night, I was like, nah, never mind. That tracks. And it's the Chow woman, Grace.
Yes.
Grace Chow. Whenever she is losing it and is like, you know what, fuck it, come on in, motherfuckers. Like, I couldn't, and I still can't, let's think this through a little bit. But her argument that like, what, are we just going to let them take our families? Are we going to let them take our homes? And Delta Slim immediately provides the only argument that matters, which is, I don't think they're going anywhere, Grace.
Yeah.
They don't seem like they're going anywhere, Grace, and they're not. They want Sammy. Like, that is the point.
Yeah,
but
the unknown for her. But
yes,
you're right.
It's her daughter. It's her daughter at risk. So like that's where I'm like, you can't possibly know unless you know what that's like, which is to be the mother of a child who is expressly threatened. That's
But then she just kamikazes herself, though, basically. Like, she went after the vampires like she wanted to die. Not like that she was still trying to get back to her daughter.
Well, she just goes and gets Bo.
Yeah.
She goes and gets her husband and is like, that's it. That's it for us.
Yeah, I guess, maybe, I guess true. That is fair. But it felt like, I don't know.
Bo, by the way. Sorry. Bo, by the way.
But it's the whole point is so that they don't go and kill her daughter. Right. And I guess, killing your husband so that he is free from the curse. That makes sense. But then, like, the way she did it was like, well, I think I'm just going to, I'm going to go now. This is it. And she just really, started the whole fuss for everyone else. But, I mean, it is surprisingly, like, so late in the movie that happens.
No, it's very late in the movie. That's like 30 minutes left or something like that. Like it's
and then it just
the
goes.
last act is a whole fight. Like it's just a giant fight sequence.
Man. Yeah. And another transition point of the IMAX to the big aspect ratio. They're hitting already and it's like, oh man, the music starts going.
It expands. That's sick. That's sick. What gosh, I'm a sucker for the end of the movie too. It's one of those like it gets me. I've watched the movie 4 times. It's gotten me 4 times, and it's getting me earlier and earlier every time I watched it. Every time I watch it. Last night, I started crying when Buddy Guy, the incredible blues musician, performing at the end of the movie, playing Sammy, when he goes, "You know something." I just immediately fell apart. Like I was like, and I got to give him credit for that. There's this idea that I've never really had when watching the movie because it's just so believable. It's so immersive. That is still his older cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like Buddy Guy is 90. That is a 90-something year old man. But he does talk to him like he's his older cousin. And I've always thought that. Like, it's always just been so implicit. I've always understood that Sammy and that Stack. So that's just the relationship they have. But then putting it into context that Buddy Guy is able to perform that way.
Damn.
Is really, really incredible.
Actually,
so whenever he goes, yes. And then to go, you know something? Like he wants that approval. He wants that sort of, reinforcement to be like, it was as beautiful a day for you as it was for me, right? Like that was as special a day as a day gets. And oh man, the fact that the band is called the Perlines and all of that stuff, that's
he went on, you think he's going to drop that guitar at the end? Hell no. He can't let go of that. And then the reveal that it's not Charlie Patton's, it's actually their dad's guitar. You know, there's so many little things at the end. It's just like, guitar. It's like, oh fuck, it just get me to just be like, damn, it's so fucking good. And then you see him grasp for his baby, his child, and then but. What more could you want? You get a clan member just absolutely, he mows him
I love that.
Down.
That's and there's a critique of this movie that I don't agree with at all, which is that is kind of, and nobody's ever like, he shouldn't have done that. No, that's not strictly what anybody's ever said about that sequence, but that it feels out of place. It feels like a part of a different movie, which I disagree with wholeheartedly. Like that is fundamentally what the movie has been about, is how these motherfuckers want to take what's not theirs, and from people who they view as lesser than. Like it's simple. Kill these motherfuckers.
It also is like a at the end of the movie, I don't think there's really a debate on like whether he's going to heaven or hell. He does say though, like, I or one of them says like, oh no, I'll be there, or I'll meet you there, or something. Like
Stack says that. Stack actually says that to Haley Steinfeld, which is ironic because they never die.
They actually meet each other in hell whenever they're no longer themselves. So okay,
they are
no
longer. Well, but, and that's the argument. That's the interesting argument.
They do,
and I'm curious.
Yeah,
they are still them. Like, it's a little Invasion of the Body Snatchers-esque. It's weird how often this has come up ever since we watched it, but they do seem to still have an ounce of individualism, even though they do share a communal mind.
They feel Remy's pain, or
they do. They feel Remy's pain, and they share each other's thoughts. Like all of a sudden, Remy can speak Chinese and stuff like that. Like that's that's
he knows everything.
That is obvious. Yes, that is obviously a different tie. And now I'm curious if they once again get. No, I'm not even going to go there. They are genuinely distraught when Annie gets stabbed by Smoke.
Yeah. No, yeah. They're like, you fucked it up, dude. Like, I had this all worked out, and you fucked it up.
Haley Steinfeld yells, no!
Yes.
It's a...
Yes, yeah.
That's why I'm like, there's this really interesting back and forth as far as the vampirism of it all. And completely removing myself, which is unfair, from the social implications of the movie, which is that the vampire is basically asking them to give up what makes them them in order to boost himself, to boost their vampirism, to boost their community, which is ipso facto white folk. Yes. Now, if I remove myself from that, the thing that typically makes a vampire story sad is the individualism of it. Is the idea that you will watch your loved ones die.
Yes.
The idea that one day your loved ones will no longer be around, you will live forever, and you will remember them forever.
Yup.
The idea that all of your loved ones could become vampires is not as displeasing as an idea as I would have previously thought. Now, obviously for Annie, her being like, I've got someone waiting for me on the other side, she's very spiritual. It's a different thing for her. It's not. So then you get into sort of belief systems, and never dying is a crime against God, essentially. Like, giving yourself over to this, you're never going to see your baby again. My baby's in heaven. I've got someone on the other side waiting for me. And that line she delivers at the end, whenever she says, you got to put that cigarette out. I don't want none of that smoke getting on her. And she calls him by his name. She calls him Elijah. She's like, Elijah, you better put that cigarette out. I don't want none of that smoke getting on her. And setting up that dichotomy between the man he was with her and with their baby, and the man he was with his brother in Chicago and finding his way there. It's so dense. It's so incredibly dense a movie that we could talk about this movie for 2 hours and we will not talk about it nearly enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always going to be more to it. And that's what makes the movie so special for as simple an idea as it has. Like, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was one point in my life where I wanted to be, like, if I wanted to be bitten by a vampire and transform and, like, have eternal life, and it was so clear. It was like, obviously, that is obviously what I do. Not? Yeah. But now, I'm pretty certain I would staunchly say no. Like, there is no part of me that would ever do it, and it isn't. If I could take everyone I know in a perfect world, maybe, but I think it is an eternity, like eternal life versus not. Like, I think, and it is everything so great, or we feel this pain and we feel great emotions because we know we're going to die and that it is finite. But then you lose all your humanity, you don't give a fuck, and you just do whatever because you're going to live forever and it doesn't matter. And it's like, it's more of that, is like, and you can never go back. I guess you can shove a wooden stake through your heart, or like someone's got to kill you, or you got to kill yourself. You don't just die naturally. And that's like, I don't know that I don't know how that plays out, because we're getting to the point where, like, I don't know in our lifetime, but like soon, it feels like it might be possible to upload someone's consciousness into, something that could theoretically live forever. And that's like, no vampires, no anything. Like, we could be getting there. And that's like, I feel like at one point I was definitely there too, of like, yeah, I'd put the chip in my brain, but now I was like, no, I am keeping my consciousness here and I will let it go whenever it goes. And it's kind of like I did a complete 180 from who I used to be.
Right. Well,
and it's not really a religion thing. I don't like it is just like I'm asking
what makes life beautiful is its finiteness, is the idea that it does end. If something doesn't have an end, then what are we doing? Like, what are we building toward? And like, I think it's really, the movie even plays with the idea that it is a white perspective to be like, fuck yeah, I'd live forever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have the privilege to go, nobody would ever treat me any different. Like, I would just keep doing what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Like, at the end, whenever Buddy Guy, Sammy, is asked, I can do it, no pain.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And he goes, I think I've seen enough of this place. Yeah. I think an important little timestamp there, and, maybe I'm reading into it a little bit, but it's October of 1992, which would be some months after the Rodney King riots in LA, which is the video tape of a black man being beaten near to death by police, and then them being acquitted, and LA rising up in arms over that.
92. Wow.
1992.
Wow. That's crazy. That is, it is before I'm born, but it's like, that is so recent.
It's not longer. So 2020, dude, George Floyd, like, it just happened. It just happened. It's still happening. It's a very active, it's not going away. And that's an internal problem that under current leadership won't go away either. Like, it is something that
worse. Maybe.
Yes, actively. Definitely. We're regressing like fucking crazy is the thing. But whenever Buddy Guy says that, I think I've seen enough of this place. Mm-hmm. Like, that is the perspective of a black man, like, of a black person who has seen what this world has to offer them, and going, yeah, I've lived my life and I've done it well. Mm-hmm. And I've loved and I've laughed, but do I want to face this oppression for who knows how long? I'm a vampire, but even Michael Stack at the end, last time I seen my brother, last time I seen the sun, like, that's enough. It's complicated, that question is always complicated. I can't remember when it came up for us last, but I proposed the question, eternal life. It was the movie Death Becomes Her is what made me think of it, but we talked about it recently somewhere else, which is, would you rather have eternal life or die right now?
Yeah.
Which is a very complicated question, like, that's not an easy question to answer.
Yep.
And weighing the options, you'd think ultimately you go, hopefully I'd say I'd rather die right now, you know, but like you don't know until you're in that situation.
Yeah.
You never will be, but you know, until you are in that situation. And that's a fascinating quandary as philosophically speaking, the idea that you either die today, can you be happy with what you've done, or do you insist on living forever?
That's as far as me knowing myself. I think I have I don't know how recent, but it has been very soon in my life that I know who I am, and I've come to terms with all of that.
Self-actualized.
Yes. So in those terms, I could die. But as far as am I happy with what I've accomplished so far in life? There's so much more I want to do. There's so much more. It's like and that it might be. And I feel it sounds like greedy or something, but it's like I feel like this is just the beginning.
I mean, we're very young. It's not like we're 25. We're not supposed to be like we've done all we can. You know, like it's not. Yeah, we're not there. That's why it's fascinating for a character like like Sammy at the end of this movie to be asked that question. You know, it won't be long for you now. You want me to go ahead and make sure it never happens.
No.
And him being like, nope, done all I can, done everything I can, and I'm happy with what I've done. Like that's human. You know, that's humanity.
Brother.
Like I love it.
The brother to brother offer, you know, of like, hey, like he almost, I mean, like they were almost convinced. Like, I mean, we got everything worked out. You know, this is we could live forever. Like we could do what we finally want to do, but have no
vision. Yeah,
no vision. Yes,
no vision. I love that line delivery. And sorry to interrupt, but Michael B. Jordan as an actor has always been someone very, very interesting to me. Mostly because I've been very back and forth on whether or not he's actually a good actor. And there's not a 100% correct yes or no answer to that question. He's been very, very good, and he's been so-so in other places. One thing I realized when watching this movie is that he is really, really good at acting with his face.
Yes.
But his line recitations are sometimes not there.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
which is interesting.
Now
he doesn't have
actor.
Yeah,
like
incredible
everything he does with
actor.
his body. Like when he's dying, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like fucking like I mean, holy shit.
The shaking hands thing, the way his hands are shaking at the end whenever he's thinking about Stack and he like reaches for the cigarette. That's why his brother always lit his cigarettes and stuff. Like that's good stuff. There's points in this movie where his accent kind of changes.
Yeah.
And it becomes a little more exaggerated. And you're like, oh, well, that wasn't what you've been doing. And that, you know, that's a minor gripe, especially in the scope of such a massive film. But it's something that I was like, it finally clicked for me why I feel kind of complicated about Michael B. Jordan's talent as an actor. Because don't get me, like, across all of the work that I truly love from Michael B. Jordan, I love that shit. You know, Creed, Black Panther, when he's Killmonger, when he's Smoke and Stack in this. Like, it hits like a truck. And then he has those moments where he delivers lines like, see, that's the problem. No vision. Like, he's so good at that. So that's why ultimately, I guess what I want to say is in the past, if you listen to our entire backlog, if you're a fucking psycho and have done that, you may have heard me say some things negative about Michael B. Jordan's talent. Maybe I've said he's overrated. In fact, I know I have. I don't know where, but I know I have said that. And I no longer feel exactly that way, if that makes sense. I don't think I was entirely wrong, but I don't feel that way. I'm not entirely committed to that idea.
Yeah, I would agree. The line readings, sometimes they are just a little off. And even like in a movie like Creed, I'd say like what I come away from is like the physical. I remember his movements. I remember his facial expressions. I remember like he's a very expressive person. But yeah, I think like he just seems that he's just kind of like not himself. He's not a smoke or a stack in real life, but like
No.
It feels like in Creed, it is just kind of like that. I don't know. It's just
he plays roughly the same character in a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit, and this is a funny person to compare him to because they're very different actors, very different people. A little Jason Bateman. You know, where it's like I don't necessarily think Jason Bateman is playing himself in Ozark.
Yeah.
You know,
but he very well could be.
That's not a very different. Yeah. That's not a very different character from the one he's playing in Horrible Bosses. You know, which are very, very different things, and he does them very, very well. But they're not very different, and that's why like there was a video today on TikTok that I've seen this before, but it popped up again today, and I fucking love it. And anytime I get a chance to talk about Kristen Milioti, I'm going to talk about Kristen Milioti.
Thank you.
Yeah, always. They posted this video that was like same actor, by the way, and it's a clip of her on 30 Rock, which is she was in like one episode of 30 Rock, and she played a person who acts much younger than she is. She does the whole baby act to seem like attractive, like she's trying to attract people by being like, "Oh, please help me. Oh, come on." You know, she's like using this really high pitched voice. She's like, "I'm a very sexy baby." You know, like I can't help it that men are attracted to me. And she's like talking to Tina Fey, and it's like goofy as hell, stupid as shit, so funny, but she's doing it really well. And then it cuts to her playing Sophia Falcone, and she's talking to Oz, and she's like, "So tell me one thing. Am I losing? Call me crazy, please. But before you do that, you know, like, so there's a lot of actors that have a lot of range, and Kristen Milioti was just the example I saw today that I was like, oh, she does have incredible range. I love her. Michael B. Jordan is a good example of a good actor that I don't strictly think of as having a lot of range. You know, that might be the better way to put it. He does feel like he has his lane, and he's done very, very successfully in that lane. But yeah, I don't see him portraying an array of characters where you go, oh, isn't this guy completely different from this guy?
Yeah, he hasn't just quite had a role that is so out there that it's unique or like so unique or different from what he's done.
Right.
And this is the closest maybe to it here, but it's still kind of in his bag for sure. It would be really nice to see him take on something very different, and I don't know.
And that's the thing is I don't even know what that looks like for Michael B. Jordan. That's it's got me thinking now. I'm like, does he just tackle roles in such a way that, like, because obviously Smoke and Stack aren't the same as Johnny Storm.
I always don't forget.
You know
about
what
that
I'm saying?
Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, like,
oh my God.
Obviously, Smoke and Stack aren't the same as Johnny Storm, but and I'm wondering if he has such a very confounding actor, because now he's got me wondering if he actually has just such a commanding presence that ultimately I end up looking at him as him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't...
Not
and
like
usually
100%,
that's a bad thing.
But he's kind of got that girth. Kind of like an Adam Driver. He kind of like every time he's on the screen, you're just kind of like, damn. I mean, he is hot as hell. I mean, his
gorgeous,
body's ripped. So it's like,
unbelievable looking man. Yeah.
That might help. But I mean, no, it's like he does have a presence.
Talk about a movie just packed to the fucking gills with beautiful people. Michael B. Jordan is unbelievable to look at. Jamie Lawson, Perline. Oh my goodness. I fucking love her. Both of the Chows, Grace and Bo. I mean, Bo is one of the finest men I've ever laid eyes on. Holy shit.
Dude's got his face is so structured. Like his jaw.
Haley Steinfeld. I can't believe I didn't say Haley Steinfeld sooner. She's fucking gorgeous.
Whew. And it gets hot, you know. We get Sammy licking the bean, you know, and then she performs her ass off after that. She's like, she comes out and she's like, all right, I'll sing now. It's like,
she's howling at the goddamn moon after that. You see?
Oh yeah, man. I mean that.
You know that ice cream you can get in town? About much pressure as you'd put on that. I love that we take a whole section of this film to inform a young man how to eat puss. That's incredible.
And then he does, you know, it's not.
And then he does. He puts those words into action. That's a wise man.
And and at least it was either Smoke or Stack. I always get them mixed up in the middle of it, but one of them.
It took me until this viewing to know for sure everything that happens to one or the other of them.
Yeah.
So it took me 4 times.
It's tough. It is a little tough. I mean, they do a nice job. One's red, one's blue, most of the time, you know, so it is like visually I know who's there, but then
that goes back to the Michael B. Jordan thing, by the way. I know he's playing twins, but twins aren't the exact same either. And nor are Smoke and Stack precisely the exact same person. They have different personalities. They behave differently. But they don't, they sound the same to me, most of the time. And there is a distinguishing tone. Stack has a much more playful voice. Smoke takes himself much more seriously. And that is, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's about the only distinguishing factor between them besides the color that they wear. Yep. Which is interesting. But sorry, go ahead. Yeah, you think it was Stack in the middle of the film was doing something?
Just listening in. It was Stack and Grace. Listening.
Yeah, Stack goes. That's my little cousin in there.
So I think the people know too. You know, it's like it was just a great night there. And then Haley Steinfeld even got a little sexy at point. You know, I mean the drool. I mean for me, you know, as a germaphobe, and all of that, people always ask like.
I've never understood the spitting in someone's mouth kink.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, I mean, if slobber's gonna get some, you know, if drool happens just naturally and whatever, that's like one thing. But to explicitly be like, boom, I am 2 feet away. She lets that shit drip. That's
that shit dangle. Damn. Yeah, it's a lot.
Damn.
So yeah, I'm not a big spit in mouth guy. But when I saw that, I was like, I'm not entirely anti anymore.
I guess
you know what I'm saying?
Watching it was hot. Like, yeah,
it's like that's hot. You know, like that was hot. Like, and you know, it's the delivery, it's everything. Her be like, you want some? Like, she played that off smooth as hell. By the way,
damn, did they really do that? Did they just really fucking do that?
Oh yeah.
Like, it might have just been water or something. I don't know. You know,
still you're spitting in someone's mouth. Like,
they just fucking did that, and that's kind of wild. It's like,
that reminds me, it was AFC Championship last year. So funny connection to make here. AFC Championship last year, Chiefs versus Bills. Chiefs send the Bills home packing. Everyone's like, "Oh, poor Josh Allen. He deserves so much. He deserves a championship." Nobody in sports deserves shit. You gotta fucking win it. Sorry. Neither here nor there. The trailer for Sinners, a new trailer for Sinners had just come out like within the days prior. And it was the one where she's covered in blood, and she smiles at the camera, and I quote tweeted it and said, "He'll be fine." You know, I was like, Josh Allen will be fine.
Yeah, no, he's chilling. That is, oh my God.
Unbelievably attractive woman. So again, Annie is a gorgeous woman. I love one meme, Makatsu, I think is her real name. Mosaku. I got the K and the S mixed up. Know her from Loki. That's B-15. Hunter B-15.
Yes.
And she obviously gets a lot more to do here. Hard when it comes to picking favorites. I know we've talked for it's impressive that we've talked 45 minutes and we have not even come close to nailing down a single favorite. When it comes to favorite performance and character, it's one of the harder movies I've had a time with deciding that.
This is
specifically character. There's a lot of Sammy is hard to not go with, you know, but he has the unfortunate position of being the character everything happens to.
Yeah.
You know, and that's an important character. It usually is the main character. And he does, you know, he takes initiative sometimes, and I appreciate those moments where he does, you know, like with Perlene, and at the end of the movie when he's made it and all that good stuff. Like that's the good stuff. But Annie is particularly the one that I have a tough time not going with. As
very just like she is the heart, or like the moral compass,
the soul of the movie.
And you know, and it sounds foo-foo or whatever at first, or like, oh, you know, or spiritual, but then like, no, she's right on fucking everything. You know, she's the one to grab that pickled garlic or whatever and be like, oh, these ain't hates, they're vampires.
These ain't hates.
Like,
So, that's,
oh man,
that's hard, by the way.
Yeah, and then
being the only one who knows anything about it, by the way, being like, yep, we all got to eat garlic. And they're like, no. By the way, grow up. We got to eat some garlic to decide if you're a fucking vampire or not. Okay, like,
come on,
this ain't the time to protest.
Come on,
okay.
Like, if it happened to be ranch dressing, which is like one of the only foods that I hate, but it was the only way to test whether you were an undead vampire or not. Like, yes, I'm going to eat some ranch.
I'm going to eat some fucking ranch. Like, whenever, and don't get me wrong, like, it's super fucking funny whenever Smoke points a gun at her and then hits Sammy in the face. Like, I'm trying to save your fucking life, fool. She looks at him before she takes a bite of that garlic and goes, "You're an evil man." Hold the fucking phone. You're about to eat garlic. That's all. You know, like, I know he's holding the gun at you and shit, and that's, you know, there's reason to believe Smoke is not a perfectly gentlemanly fellow. But I don't know if this is the time to call him an evil man.
No.
But yeah, no,
not asking for too much, I'd say. You know, that's pretty valid time to just chomp down on some garlic.
Well, he's only giving you more incentive, really. Like,
and the more you just say like, no, the more you're like, well,
garlic?
why? Like, why are you saying no?
No shit. Like, eat garlic, or we think you're a vampire. That's already enough. Eat garlic, or I shoot you right now. Go ahead and eat it then. You know, and like, she does. She does ultimately, but you know, like it is. And then like Delroy Lindo. Delta Slim being like, like,
oh, I was like, wait,
I'm all right.
The first time I was kind of like, oh shit, but because they do leave like a couple like things up in the air that you're like you're feel like you're certain on, you know, but it's like you don't truly know, like Cornbread, like if he's back or truly a vamp, you know, he has to like get in, and like so again, it's like
people's,
but like there's I love how it was they do kind of pull the rug out from under your feet a lot of times where they're just leading you down a direction. It's like, oh no, not what you thought, and it's like very much so the classic vampire story of like just getting trapped in a building, loading all up. You know, they didn't necessarily board all the windows. It's not like zombie-esque, but you know, it's like it does follow the classic.
It follows the stereotypical vampire structure, like you said. It follows the stereotypical vampire rules. It's not like it invents anything new to vampires for this purpose.
The only difference the cultural story behind, like, I mean, it is a large part of the movie. Not I'm trying to say like, this is a vampire movie
that's
with
the only thing. No, like that, but that does change. That does change it. I'm trying to think of vampire movies I've watched in the past, and I love vampire movies, dude. Like it's as far as horror is concerned, it's probably my favorite.
I guess they don't usually look this good too. I guess like the IMAX the
gorgeous
visuals,
movie.
the soundtrack,
the fact that Ryan Coogler. I mean, I know he didn't get a blank check, but he basically got to make whatever fucking movie he wanted here. You know, like it doesn't feel like there was a lot of studio interference in Sinners. It's really again just an incredible achievement. But going back to what we were talking about with favorites. Favorite scene? Experiencing I Lied to You.
Yep.
In the movie theater.
Damn.
Was otherworldly.
I don't. If I saw this on July 6th, I can't remember if I saw this in the theater or not. I feel like is July 6th by the time would that April? It came out April something. So it definitely would have probably been on Max by then. That's probably its like streaming release that I watched it.
Pretty close to it. Yeah.
It probably still would. I mean, it was in theaters for a while, but man, I can't remember if I was in a theater or not. And like, no, I definitely was not, because
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
like, you
up
remember.
out of my chair during I Lied to You, and just fucking like just let my it just fucking took over. I remember, yes, I was very alone. I was not in the theater for that. So
everything that it was one of those sequences first time I watched it that I'm watching it going, this is why we make movies.
Yep. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sequences like this are why movies exist.
Yep.
And it's the perfect combination of visual, of sound. It's bending reality the way only movies can. It's everything, and it's music and visual, and it's all of it, and it's fucking magnificent. So hard to not go with that as your favorite scene. One of those scenes, like, I was covered in chills the whole fucking time, dude. I immediately got in my car after the movie and turned on I Lied to You. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, well, I gotta listen to that. I gotta relive that somehow right now. Did I lose you?
Oh, I think maybe for a second, but I hear you now. We are back.
Gotcha.
But I don't. Were you still going? I guess I don't know.
I was not. No, I'd finished my thought.
Well, yeah, I Lied to You. I don't know that I probably will have to nail down as my favorite scene, because like it does, even on this watch. Like I feel like I'm forced to get up. I cannot remain seated during that scene.
No shit.
It is impossible.
Boy.
And yeah, the first time, man, to be in a theater, to actually be around a group, like other people during that, would be insane. It was
one of the only times I went and saw this movie by myself. I did not go see this with anybody. There were other people in the theater, but I wasn't with Emily. I wasn't with you, and you guys are typically the only people I really go see movies with. So, but it's one of the only times I've ever been in a theater, and I looked to my right at a complete stranger, and the complete stranger looked back at me like mouth agape, like, oh shit. Like, he was like 4 or 5 seats away, and I was like, oh, and he was like, oh, and that was that. Like, we just kept watching the fucking movie. I was like, that is so fucking sick. I just needed someone to acknowledge how fucking cool this is.
Yep.
Because it really is that sequence where it connects the past and the future, and you get the you get the ancestor side of it, which you've already kind of understood is something, a period piece specifically already kind of connects you to a different time. So going back further makes sense. Whenever they go, and the future, and then you see this guy come in with the sick electric guitar, and then you get to like women throwing ass, and you're like, yep, this is modern. You know, like that shit goes nuts. And it just, even the Chows have an ancestor there. Like that's a sick fucking, it's a great idea.
And the whole while, like, it's getting new, but then you hear like the very tribal instruments in the background, and you see like it's all mixing together, and it's like, oh my god, it was
that's why, like, Ludwig Göransson might be the best alive. And I know that's not like,
dude,
that's not a hot take, because he's won multiple Oscars for this stuff. He is generally viewed as top of his field. But I think this might be what, like, kind of makes it a
he's kind
debate
of the
sort of situation.
He's already with John Williams. Like, bro is like, I feel like this is a LeBron and Jordan debate here. Is like, is it just because Ludwig Göransson has so much more technology and, you know, like, I think the capability to make music now is just at a higher point, or
and just time wise, and I'm not trying to equate this to my feelings about the basketball GOAT debate, but more the time in which these people existed. John Williams, MJ. Hans Zimmer, LeBron.
Wembanyama, Ludwig Göransson. Yeah.
or you know, no, let me shift this a little bit. Hans Zimmer, Kobe.
Ooh.
Ludwig, LeBron.
Ooh.
Going,
that.
You know, Hans Zimmer emerges, and you're like, oh, this is 2. This is the,
like, damn.
He's not MJ, you know, he's not MJ, but he's 2.
But damn.
And then you get this guy, and you go, is he the fucking chosen one? You know what I'm saying? Like, you go, hold the fucking phone. He might give MJ a run for his money. And, you know, we're talking about the GOAT debate, let's say 12 years ago. Say this is the NBA GOAT debate circa 2010.
Yep. Okay.
If I felt that way about Ludwig right now, I'd be like, well, he's the LeBron. I'd be like, well, he's the fucking GOAT then. And I can't honestly say that. John Williams is just him. But I mean, he's as far as the best working right now, he's got to be top one for me. It's him. I take Reznor and Ross. You know, as far like their work on Challengers, their work on, and you know, with David Fincher consistently, with Luca consistently lately, their most recent work on Tron Ares, like
I still got to see that. I'm so disappointed.
I still haven't watched it either, but I have listened to the soundtrack a little bit because I've just heard great things. And it is very, very good. It's a short list for who I put at the top of the game right now, and Ludwig is undoubtedly top one for me.
I mean, the dude just had, like, he doesn't miss. Like, it is nuts. All the Mandalorians, like, that's Boba Fett.
And the fact that we have such a breadth of work from him is what really makes it impressive. And that's what connects back to the time period you were talking about. Like, is it just because he has so much more resources now? Yeah. It's not just a giant band, you know, it's not just a giant it's not an orchestra, and like he has access to orchestras, but he has access to a lot more than that too, and he's willing to make use of a lot more than just that too, which is what makes John Williams interesting as well. You can surprise me by telling me something is Ludwig Göransson. You can't really surprise me by telling me something's John Williams. You know, like you can tell something's John Williams. But if you play me the Mandalorian theme, and then you play me the theme from Oppenheimer, not the theme from Oppenheimer, but the main one you think of when you think of Oppenheimer's music, you know, that shit, and then you play me I Lied to You.
Dang.
And then you know what? Fuck it. Just for shits and gigs, throw in 3005 by Childish Gambino. You play all of those side by side, and you go, same guy produced all of these. I go, fuck yourself. That's insane. Fucking way. That's incredible. And the fact that Ryan Coogler, a gentleman who, you know, through Black Panther and through Wakanda Forever, and this has placed such an emphasis and importance on black art, to continuously go, I want Ludwig to score this shit. That's a pretty big fucking cosign. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be like, who can capture the music I'm looking for best right now? Wow. It's this white boy Ludwig Göransson.
That's
like
praise.
that is especially given just the philosophy that Ryan Coogler has approached his work with. It's not just It's a genuine, like, he is the best person for this job, regardless of the fact that he's white. Like, not that he would ever discriminate against a person because of their skin color or anything. But, you know, specifically Sinners was the first time I thought that was a really impressive or interesting choice, where I was like, damn, you got Ludwig Göransson scoring this motherfucker right now. Like, that's a really big swing. And it always pays off if you're with Ludwig Göransson. It's just gonna work.
It just hit me of how it was said that, you know, music is like magic. You know, it what we do is magic. It connects all of us. I feel like if you're an actor and you're passionate about that, like, they feel the same way. Is like they are doing a thing in time that connects many generations. People in the future can watch this, and so, like, to know that it is like a black made movie, and like most of the actors, you know, like we have, I guess, Remick, you know, the villain, or like the KKK. Like, if you are
Hogwood,
white, if you are white in this movie, is there
you're a bad guy,
good white person? Is there even
Mary, who they are technically like, you're not black, or you're not white?
She's faint, you know. So that's because even like the people in the store of like, we used to have our side of the town and they had theirs. Like, I didn't. I didn't realize until this watch that it is literally like,
I love that the Chows are cashing in like that, by the way, that they're like, we own a shop on the white side of the street and the black side of the street. That's that's kind of a flex. But yeah, I didn't pick up on that until this watch either. And that's a great way to depict, being Asian at the time too, kind of having the access, but not being included, like you were still not white, but they weren't looked at like black people either, which is an interesting, fascinating that racism exists at all. Like the fact that there are people who are like, your skin color's different. I don't like that. Can't wrap my head around it anyway. But the idea that there are like levels to it, where it's like, you'd think that if it was just like, if it's like, well, any skin color other than mine, automatically bad. You'd think they'd value that across the board the same.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
There's somehow levels to this shit. Yeah, you're right.
It's so illogical that even that doesn't have any logic to it. Like it's inherently, you just hate. You're just hating to hate, you piece of shit.
Crazy to think that to be racist is actually the norm for most of human history. Or I don't know. I wonder if it is like you go way, way back, there's probably signs of racism and slavery. I don't know, popped up, but like it'd be nice to know, or it'd be cool to be like, maybe racism wasn't a thing always, it like people were just chilling with each other, and then it actually was like some, I don't know, some white guy somewhere that was at, started
European. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, like that's when it really became a system. And then it's like very, very
it
obvious. Started
being implemented in literal structures of government and carrying on of everyday life. Yeah. Like it's
so yeah, it's like
insane.
That's maybe that's all I need actually of the start of the true, I don't know, but it's it is the class, like the class, what am I trying to say, class commentary. There it is. Yes, yeah. There it is. The class commentary, the race commentary, everything like that they are showing in the movie. It's like it's done so well, and it's like it's just obvious who the villains are, and like what they're trying to say. They're not hiding behind anything, and like it is not like, it doesn't seem like there was any producer or like any business decisions to be like, no, this is you're taking this a little too far. You're literally putting 80 bullets into a clan member before you pick up your child, in the afterlife or whatever. And I love how it goes from so many, like it, and it's has those super serious moments, and then it's fun. You get to get up and dance like at times, and just the comedy's a little different. It's not pure comedy, but it's like it's got just everything in the movie, and like,
y'all smell that?
I mean,
I just shat myself.
Yeah. Like it's kind of the full package, which I think is why, like, for me, I haven't seen a couple movies of the year that I want to, that could maybe be like movie of the year potential or rival it. But I mean, like, of what I've seen, it just doesn't. This movie is so far ahead of everything else that it is. It takes like Superman to be like how excited I was just to even see that in the moment that it was, but even it's like, no, Sinners is just Sinners.
Oh, it's just better.
It's just a better. I don't know. Yeah.
The only movie that gives it a run for its money for me is One Battle After Another. Right now, that is the only one that I'm like, and I've only watched that once. So right now, Sinners does have the edge, but immediately after seeing One Battle After Another, I was confident it was my one on the year.
That's a good feeling. I don't know. That's like
it is
to walk out the theater after Sinners. Like, yeah, like that. That's, I'd say, like, an overall, it just feels like not a movie year. Like, I just, and even, I don't know, maybe I just have taken myself out of movies. I've watched just a lot less than last year, but it just doesn't feel.
I've watched a lot. I've watched plenty, and there's something to the idea that it's relatively a down year. And when it comes to movies, hard to call anything a down year, especially when you're getting, when you get One Battle After Another, when you get Sinners. I mean, even Superman is an incredible comic book movie. We've gotten a pretty good stretch of comic book movies with Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. You know, I loved Mickey 17 and I mean, shit. There's a new movie on Netflix. Like, it might have came out today. I don't fucking know. I watched it today and I hadn't seen it before. It's called Ballad of a Small Player. It's Colin Farrell, directed by Edward Berger, who did All Quiet on the Western Front and Conclave. Great fucking movie. I loved that shit. Like I was, and it'll be mixed received, I'm sure. But I mean, it's cinematographically porn. Like it is unbelievable to look at. And
Netflix movie.
But neither here. Netflix movie. I know. Yeah, wouldn't have seen it coming. But regardless, it's a relatively down year. You compare it to last year. I mean, and don't even try to compare it to the year before that or the year before that. Like 2020, I think we started doing this podcast about movies religiously at an extraordinarily hot time for movies. You know, when 2022 and 2023 were picking up, and that's when we really picked up our movie coverage. It was like, oh my God, is this what every year's like? No, that is not what every year is like. We got lucky. Yeah. That was post-COVID. Production dates were being pushed back and release dates were being pushed back. So there was this laundry list of shit that should have been put out probably a year or two earlier and just wasn't. And we got lucky.
So well.
Yeah, we got treated so well for a couple years there. You go back to 2019 and that's really the only, like 2019 might be one of the best movie years of all time. But yeah, I mean, we haven't touched anything like 2019, 2022, and even 2023. I look on 2023 a lot more fondly than a lot of people do, but
yeah,
2023 is up there for me.
It's got a lot of the ones that are like, oh man, like they hit so different.
Oppenheimer,
but
Past Lives, Asteroid City, Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor
La
Things.
Chimera. I don't know. La Chimera's a weird one. Like whether it was canon.
La Chimera was released in like December of 2023, and it's technically like it should be a 2024 movie for my money, but neither here nor there.
Zone of Interest. Ooh, yeah.
Zone of Interest.
Man.
Anatomy of a Fall.
John Wick
like
4.
2023 was
fucking.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
But, yeah. So
special couple of years there, which is why like.
Man,
it
just doesn't feel like that. Doesn't feel like that.
I mean, and this year's not even quite what last year was. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, and I'm always interested. There's this like every year now that I'm like really plugged in to like specifically like award season, and I'm intrigued by what's going to win, what's going to take the cake, and obviously I'm interested in a lot more, but. I don't know. I want to have a stake in the game. I want to be rooting for stuff. I like that perspective. I watched Anora with Emily for the first time a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago now. I don't know. I have no sense of time. And it made me like really, really nostalgic for the end of like December of 2024, January 2025, which is hilarious to be like nostalgic for like a few months ago, but it happens every year. That exact situation. I get reminded of late in the year whenever I go and revisit movies that I was watching for award season, which is why I'm like, there's still a lot of time for this year to become a good movie year.
That's true.
Yeah. You know, like, you might not even feel that way about this year until next March. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes time for all those movies to find their way to us. December is one of the biggest movie months there is. I went ahead and booked tickets for a movie a couple weeks from now that I've been hearing about forever, but I didn't know when it was coming out. And finally, it's going to be hitting theaters here pretty soon. It's called Die, My Love. Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson. That's all I need to know, brother. I don't know a fucking thing about that movie. It's called Die, My Love. It's got Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. Comes out in 2 weeks, and I will be fucking damned if I'm not overwhelmingly sat for that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just... there's Sorry Baby came out this year, which I've heard great things about and never saw. This has been an interesting year for like smaller cinema, smaller movies. Sentimental Value is one that did really, really well at the, festival circuit, but I haven't heard a fucking thing about it otherwise. I don't know when it comes out. I don't know anything about it. I just know that everyone fucking loved it when they saw it at Cannes or Venice or whatever. So that's why I'm like, it's a lot of time left in order for this movie year to become a good movie year. But the other side of that for me is when you get a movie like Sinners, how can you call it a bad movie? Like that's the other side of it for me is whenever we get, even if I get a few movies that I'm like, that's all time. That's a good year. So
that's true. This is it's
a
spooky season staple. That's
for
it's
a
sure.
February staple. It's
more than that.
like it's
it's like it's I always want to get back to it.
That's what's great is that it's not just it is a spooky season staple, but it's not one of those ones where I'm like, well, I got to wait till October to watch it. Yep. There's some movies that I don't touch with a 10-foot pole because I'm like, ooh, that'll be so nice to watch in October. This is not one of those. I will watch this shit whenever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And that's special. I love movies like that.
I think I'm comfortable with giving a performance for the movie. I think I gotta go Miles Canton, actually, for it being his first. The just singing capability that dude has is insane. I mean,
oh boy,
somebody
we gonna make some money.
Like it's obvious. You are become famous. I hope you get cast in much more, and or maybe just make music. I don't know. Be an artist. And do what you
make music.
Do.
I mean, like he staked his claim as an actor though. Like he's a good actor. That's why I'm like, it's in a movie so chock full of incredible performers. I don't think it's a bad choice to go with Miles Caton here. It's he is that good. I'm going with pretty much the opposite I possibly can as far as being seasoned and being an incredible actor. I'm going Delroy Lindo as Delta Slim. Delta Slim, like as a performer, Delroy Lindo's an incredible actor. Any way you fucking slice it, like just one of the best ever. And he has to display some fucking range here. I go back to that story he was telling about his friend who got lynched, and when he goes and he like smacks his leg, and like you can feel the pain, like the fact that you can feel the pain from the music he's about to perform, like he's humming to deal with it, and the like it's so good. But then he gets those moments where last call, Delta Slim. Like it's good stuff, man. It's really good. And going back to that moment whenever Remick is like, I want your stories. I want your songs. And then he says, your heart, and it flashes to Perline. Your voice, and it flashes to Delta Slim. Your soul, and it flashes to him singing. Like, oh my God, dude. That is so fucking good, and I'm gonna be a sucker for it every time. So nice. I think Delroy Lindo is an incredible actor, and I think he does an incredible job in this movie. So I'm gonna give him my performance.
I like that. Yeah, and I'm solidified, I think, on Annie as the character. I think like there's the little money. She's like, I don't want your cursed money, your blood money. This money is all I need. I'm not going anywhere. Blood money. Yeah. That's nice. The little mojo bag or whatever he calls it, and like it actually stops. Like, man, which one becomes the vampire? That is Stack. Okay, they were both S names. What the fuck? Like, come on. Like, at least I know it sounds cool. The Smokestack. Smokestack. The
Smokestack twins.
But man,
sick.
With my dyslexic
brain,
man,
you just shot me in my ass.
It doesn't work. But like the mojo bag
how
actually
you doing?
Coming in for the
I was
savior.
doing a lot better before you shot me in the ass. It's
realizing who he is.
Can't have nobody saying they almost robbed the Smokestack twins without a limp to show for it. That's why I'm like, it's so many parts of the movie that like I couldn't possibly touch on all of it. It's really it's really just incredible. And yeah, I'm right there with you. When it comes to character, I'm going to spread the love just because I do agree. I think Annie is she is the compass, she tells all, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if I hadn't gone with Delroy Lindo as Delta Slim,
that's
performance-wise, I might be going with him for character because he displays that range he displays as a performer. He displays it as well as a character. That's what makes him an interesting character. But
yeah, it's tough. That's at least it's.
I might just go Sammy. It's the easy choice, but I mean,
he is the main character, It's he's performing his ass off. You love him eating puss, let's go.
Yeah, we love box munching. That's the good stuff.
Come on.
That's the good stuff. He's on his Tyler the Creator shit. I'm a bona fide face seat box muncher. Yeah, it's the good stuff. You can ride my face. I don't want nothing in return. We love an eater who's in it for eating. That's the good stuff.
Maybe a weird connection from Ludwig Göransson to 3005, Donald Glover, now to Miles Canton, another one. I don't know, the line that I thought of immediately was a Gambino line of, why does every black actor got to rap some? All I know is that I'm the best one. And I don't know. Maybe if Miles Canton decided to get in the game, who knows?
Maybe
Do we have
he's
another
got the
one?
voice for it. He's got the voice for it.
But rap, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he'd go the rap route. Actually, I'm wondering was this just the movie that brought out this voice in him, or is this would he still go in this?
It is interesting. He doesn't sound exactly like this. He is acting it is a voice he is putting on. Now he does have a deep voice,
but not country. But not
he ain't down there like that. Yeah, he don't got Sammy Moe. Yeah, that wouldn't be how he says Sammy Moore. You know what I'm saying? Sammy Moe. It's a little different. You threw me a Bible on that Mississippi road. It's the good stuff, man. I love I Lied to You. And last time I seen The Sun is,
yeah, the soundtrack
that'll
just
fuck me up.
Goes.
That'll fuck me up.
It's insane. I don't know how many times I've played I Lie to You. It on my Wrapped or whatever the Apple Music equivalent is. It's gonna be so. It might be number one. I don't know. It is.
Yes, I love the blues.
Man,
yeah. Damn.
It's a perfect walk to class song. It's almost like the song ends right when I enter the building every time. It's down to the second, and it's just
that scream that turns into the electric guitar. Ooh, God damn.
It's there's not much to complain about over here.
No, I'm in love. I'm in love with the movie. This conversation has only solidified that more. But I think with that, I might be able to conclude this episode of the Cinementalists. We will go ahead and rate the movie. We will also announce what is coming in the month of November. But first I'm going to do the plugs. We would love if you left a 5-star rating review and downloaded wherever you might be listening. You can share this episode with anybody you know who saw Sinners, which is a lot of people. So you ought to share it with them because we had a lot of, insights. Whether they were good or not is up to you to determine. But I felt good about it. I liked the conversation we had. We also talk about a lot of movies. I have a Letterboxd list on Letterboxd. Which if you go to my profile, it's a pinned list. It says every movie we've ever covered, and it is over 250 movies long now. You can click on the little eyeglasses in the corner of that list, and it'll give you direct links to every episode. So no reason not to go through and check them out. I wouldn't recommend scrolling too far down because, some of them I recorded in 2019 and I was just a baby. I didn't know shit then. And I'm sure in 6 years I'll look back at me in 2025 and go, man, I was just a baby. I didn't know shit then either.
I hope not, but...
No, I don't think I will. There are genuinely some takes that I had in 2019 that I'm like, oh God, Thank God nobody listens to that shit. It's literally buried too deep. Like if you go to Geek With Me, like scrolling through 600 episodes is a lot.
That's true. It does take effort. So yeah,
it does.
But it is there. It is.
It is there. It's out there permanently until I say it shall be. But I don't intend on saying that. Yeah. So tons of movie coverage, plenty of it. It's also not the only show we do. We also don't only cover movies. We've got a Twin Peaks podcast. It's called Fire Pod With Me. We are covering Twin Peaks. I'm rewatching it. Joseph is watching it for the first time. We are currently discussing The Return, Twin Peaks The Return, which is the 3rd season of the show. It's a lot of fun. If you've never seen Twin Peaks, you should just watch Twin Peaks. And then if you happen to want a podcast about it after, we've got it. So go ahead and check out Twin Peaks. And then if you want to, Fire Pod With Me. And then, as I said before, Geek With Me, which is where we have an over 600 episode catalog. It's where you'll find good 180 of those 250 movies I said we've covered. Cinementalists' catalog is not that deep yet, but it's getting there. We're
at 83 on the Cinemillimeter grand overall. So I don't know if that includes this one or not. It's published, so yeah, not quite.
Oh, well, it also includes a 10-part series and an Ask Me Anything. So it is at about 71. Okay. So yeah, look at that. This will be 72, if I'm not mistaken, on the Cinementalist, something like that.
There we go.
But
We're getting up there.
It's
almost to 100.
Oh, we are.
What's our 100th movie going to be? 300. Ooh. No. I don't know why that was what came to my brain.
We'll do that for 300 one day.
Got to. I mean, if we don't cover 300 by 300.
We actually aren't on 300. We could do 300 on our 300th movie ever covered. We haven't gotten there yet either, period. Across all so, there's something there. Maybe. But,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But we've got a ton of stuff in the backlog. Geek With Me is where we're covering it's Geek With Me. It's comic book shit, it's Star Wars stuff. It's a lot of fun. Star Wars Visions Collection 3 just dropped on Wednesday. We might go ahead and pick it up to discuss here soon. If not, we don't have anything hardcore planned for that show until December. That's when we're going to be doing something called Alphabet Soup, which we are going to be doing an episode kind of promoting this month here on the Cinementalists, which I'm very excited for, but we'll get to that later. We also got the 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens coming up in December, so we're going to be celebrating that because we're big Star Wars fans. Got that to look forward to on Geek With Me. But, I think with that, I'll say we can rate this one on a scale of 1 to 10, all your feelings summed up into a number about Sinners. How you feeling?
The generations are flowing. I don't know. This is it's a movie that transcends the screen. So it's just one of those for me. It's just one of those movies that I have no hesitation throwing right at the tenor for me. And it might not be the perfect movie. I don't know what I would do to make it better. But no, it's there for me. And I'm going to come back a lot to watch, but even more just to listen. I don't know. I wonder how long that will last. To the I Lie to You. It's been quite a while that it's been going on for. But very recently, it's just gotten very overwhelming. But no, it's just the movie of the year for me. And it was like an instant, like, holy shit, this is just, I'm feeling something different. This is what movies are for. So yeah, I'm there.
I like that. I'm going to go ahead and throw this at a number that maybe later I'll regret. But I'm not going to quite give it the 10. I'm going to give it a 9.75.
Okay.
Now, maybe this is like you with Eraserhead, or was it Blue Velvet? I don't know.
Eraserhead,
something recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we were talking about something later, and you're like, why did I do that? Yeah. You were like, maybe I'll feel that way about this, and I'm sure I will. I don't want to, probably. But, 10's a gut feeling. And right at this moment, my gut is telling me I can't give it the perfect score. Now, perhaps here in a couple weeks, I'll go, God damn, why did I give that a 9.75?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I'll change it to a 10 then.
Yeah. I guess I did retroactively change one of them. I think Eraserhead now stands at a 9.75. I don't know if that was the one to change, but Blue Velvet is also at a 9.75. So I think it was one of the Lynch ones that changed though.
It was a Lynch one.
But
it was a Lynch one you said you would change. I think it was Eraserhead.
Go up to a 10. I thought that was maybe what my reasoning was, but maybe I guess I don't know. Or maybe I'm not sure if I didn't hit enter correctly.
Maybe you gave Eraserhead. Maybe you gave Eraserhead lower than a 9.75, and we're like, why did I not give it higher? Regardless, doesn't matter.
But we're at a 9.
No matter what, I'm going to give this a 9.75 right now, and maybe one day I'll want to change it, but right now I don't want to.
But that's a 9.88 or a good old 99.
So 99, 99% on the Cinementialometer.
Don't get closer than that.
It don't. That's faring very well. That's very, very good. We love those. So 99 on the Cinementialometer. Let's talk about what comes next week and the weeks to follow. We're done with October. Happy Halloween, everybody. But we're heading into November. And November is a pretty big one for us typically. We have an annual tradition.
Yes.
We celebrate Thanksgiving our own way. We give thanks by recording a live commentary the night before Thanksgiving. As the clock hits midnight, we are recording on a movie we are watching together. We're giving thanks for, each other. We're thankful to have this podcast, to have this show. We're thankful to have the listener who listens with us. We're thankful for the movies. That's a thing. And in the past, this has been restricted for Star Wars movies. The first, what was it? A New Hope, Rogue One, and Solo. I think it was
so.
3 years.
Yeah.
We did the first 3 years we did Star Wars movies, all of which are available on Geek With Me. Last Thanksgiving was the first one that we strayed away from doing Star Wars, which at the time was because we had a Star Wars podcast, and we were like, well, that seems kind of redundant. Why would we do a Star Wars movie? So we did the Batman. We did the Batman last year, which is far and away, and will always be our longest live commentary. I don't think there's another movie that length or longer I have any interest at
Oppenheimer,
talking the whole time
live
through.
commentary.
I probably could, but I won't.
I don't know.
But
it's not really a live
the Batman, there's a lot more imagination, I'm like, I can Oppenheimer's like, yeah, this happened.
Yes. It's like, this is a true story.
Did you know that's true? Did you know that really happened?
We're
they
in
really
black
blew
and white,
that motherfucker
everybody.
up.
We're in black and white, but even the color shift, it happened.
It happened in some capacity. So last year we did the Batman, and it's funny that we chose to do the Batman because we didn't want to do a Star Wars show because that fit on the Fulcrum thing. But now the Batman would fit on Geek With Me. Yep. So it's funny that we keep evolving, which is why this year we're doing something that you're never going to be able to move, baby. This Thanksgiving, we're doing a live commentary on Fantastic Mr. Fox. And I'm very, very excited for that. Nice and short, like almost half the runtime of the Batman. So that's going to be a fucking breeze. We've actually talked right now for as long as the movie Fantastic Mr. Fox is.
We could have watched Fantastic Mr. Fox.
We could have done it. We could have done it. Wow. So that's why I'm like, that'll be a fucking breeze. In fact, we might not be able to get all we want to say in during that hour and a half. So it'll be a fun one. I'm looking forward to that. That's what we're doing this Thanksgiving. But that fits in with a larger theme for November called Nostalgia November. I'm very excited for this. We wanted to not just throw it back, but kind of pick movies we've had a personal connection to throughout our lives. So next week we're going to be discussing The Princess Bride. I'm very excited for that. Classic fantasy film.
Oh yeah.
Adore it. And that will be nostalgic in the traditional sense. That's nostalgic for a lot of viewers. It's literally a kid being told a bedtime story We love that, don't we, folks? That's who can't relate? I mean, some, and that's unfortunate, but some, most can. We're going to be following that up with Robots, which is a Joseph pick. Joseph has a very personal connection to that one.
Yes.
And I was up in the air about the third one. I believe I announced something on the return. Or on Fire Pod with me, and I believe it was Dazed and Confused.
I think so.
But I don't think that was in keeping with my initial thought process behind the structure of the show, which is that The Princess Bride and Fantastic Mr. Fox are not movies that we are strictly nostalgic for, but that are generally nostalgic feeling. While the middle two should be nostalgic and personal to us. So Robots is yours. So I'm going to officially change it. If you listen to Fire Pod with me on Monday, sorry and shit, I got it wrong there. It's not Dazed and Confused. We'll get to that on 420 or something. We'll look forward to that.
That's more fun. That'd be funny. Okay.
So following Robots, and this is, it's a fucking wild slate of movies we got going this month. Princess Bride, Robots. We're going to follow that up with Baz Luhrmann's The Great Gatsby, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire. And then that'll flow into Fantastic Mr. Fox, as one does. Yeah, it's a very random slate, all tied by that nostalgia theme, and I'm very excited for it. Those movies came out, Robots, I think, were you 5 when that came out? Is that when that was?
Yes, 2005.
Yeah. Now, we were a little older for Great Gatsby. We were 12, but that does make me nostalgic for that time. So I look forward to that. So next month, The Princess Bride, Robots, The Great Gatsby, and Fantastic Mr. Fox. Show me another podcast doing shit like that, baby. You can't. You can't. That's quite the slate.
Never let them know
you just
your
never
next
know
move.
what the fuck we're. Yeah, you can't. You can't. Oh, class commentary, animated class commentary, and featuring robots.
Yep.
How about a real work of literature being adapted on screen with Leonardo DiCaprio?
And then
it is also a class commentary, funny enough. Whoops.
Yeah. It's everywhere. You never know.
It's all over the place. We love that, though. So that's what's coming next month on The Sentimentalists. And I believe with that, we can conclude this episode. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Happy Halloween, buddy.
Happy Halloween. Yeah, it's spooky season, and it's always spooky to be here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to change my ending. I'm so ingrained to it that I always just got to say it's a pleasure to be here. But
it was a pleasure to have you after all. But I think with that, I'll send us off with a simple remember. Before the sun went down, I think that was the best day of my life.